Good morning, Big Brother fans. It is Thursday, July 25th. Eviction tonight. We finally made it to Thursday. I got nothing about yesterday as far as... Well, I got a little bit, but nothing changed. Bella's still going. It may even be a unanimous vote, honestly, with a hinky vote tossed in for good measure. It is what it is. So it shall be. There's just... Jax has escaped the closest thing he had to possibly going out. Maybe Jack's going to become a Tyler and make a run. He's not a Tyler, by the way, but I just mean maybe he's going to make a, this was his one close run-in with being evicted, and now he'll just be on a tear, or people be looking other directions, because now I think Nick's after Christy, Christy's after Jackson. I'm surprised, but then again, Christy can be a lot of talk, and she can be trying to get somebody else to do it. So she's laying this whole Jackson seeds out there, and that may be the first person of our alliance to go will be Jackson when the other side gets it. That may be what her angle is that she's setting things up so that the other side, when they get it, will know that Jackson is a welcome target among the six, or at least Christy, who I am convinced is very much strong-arming that alliance in the direction they go, even though she claims Jack pushed his agenda, or tried to push his agenda, week one. So, wall competition tonight, we think? Yes, and I've already talked about it. I'm thinking Tommy, Nicole, or Annalise have the best shot at winning it. Maybe Holly, because I'm not sure how tall she is, but mostly Nicole, Tommy, Annalise. They did do a fashion show yesterday. I did not watch it. Jessica won it. There you go. Spoiler alert. And then I took a beating online, which some of you probably don't even know about, or maybe you do all know about. I got a bit feathers ruffled when I read that some affiliate had stopped tweeting about Big Brother. There have been a couple that actually, or more than a couple that have this year. And I did a knee-jerk reaction and got ticked off about people that hype Big Brother, and this happens. See, this is the problem. Very poor timing on my part in my knee-jerk reaction. I don't follow a particular account that people linked it to, which, as it turned out, after I went on a mini rant, said there was a death in the family. So that makes you look awkward. My rant was more of a general rant. I intentionally did not name a name because it was I'm not going to point fingers and call somebody out. But it was kind of one of these, I just get annoyed when there's sites that promote the feeds for the first few weeks of every season, and then they go away and stop, talking about it anymore because they made their money, they made their affiliate signups, and now they're not going to. In my opinion, you lure people in. And this is again a general comment. I am not accusing the particular site that turns out there was a death in the family of doing this, because they've been around for years. They've never done anything like that. But it just kind of set me off in general. And there have been sites in the past that either A, take their marbles and go home, say, I don't like this season, so I'm going to stop talking about it. It's like once you commit to doing a show, once you commit, once you sell people on the fact that you're going to be doing something, and they say, all right, because you're going to be doing this, I'm going to give you a referral, then you got to stick with it. Now, the caveat on that, as I said in my now deleted tweets, because frankly, yes, it gets really annoying to open up your timeline and just find people just harassing you about something that you said, where I qualified it in my tweet and said, family or medical emergencies should always be exceptions. people aren't reading those tweets, and they aren't reading that part of the tweets. They're just zoning in on the how dare you part of it and the indignant part of it. And again, there's no winning on this. That's why I just kind of gave up and deleted the tweet. I know I didn't even think about addressing it, but I am going to address it because I'm not trying to hide the fact. I just don't want to. That's not what I want to do with my time about Big Brother, is dwell on a comment I made about being annoyed that there are certain accounts out there that get people to sign up and then stop providing information. And that is an annoyance, and it does happen. The particular instance that set me off was not obviously the case. However, again, didn't name the account, wasn't trying to point a finger at the account. I was just expressing my frustration when that happens, and it set me off. Very poor timing on my part, as if I'd waited an hour to vent. I still would have vented, by the way. I still would have vented, but I wouldn't have. I could have qualified it a little bit better, so I'm not talking about blah. But I didn't have that opportunity. As a matter of fact, somebody tweeted at me about how it's BB Updates is the current account that had stopped tweeting, which goes by Big Brother Daily. However, there's also another BB_Updates account that stopped tweeting about 4 or 5 days ago. And if you go to their website, to their timeline on Twitter, you will see 4 days ago when someone on their account tweeted that they were in the hospital after surgery, I tweeted and said, keeping you in my thoughts. I didn't tweet, how dare you go in the hospital and not do stuff. That happened to get into my timeline. I don't follow Big Brother Daily, so I wasn't, I can't win, and I'm just more annoyed that that people don't read exactly what you're saying or taking the whole amount. Which this is one of those times where I rarely have to deal with this. There are other people, including one of my co-hosts, who's constantly barraged with people attacking and saying, things about how dare you and all this, I had a smaller, slightly not similar, but a smaller incident happen later on in the day or in the evening. So let's go past this. So I thought, I'm not going to delete my tweets. I'm going to leave them there. And then it did become one of those, oh my God. I open up my timeline and try to read communication, and it's a couple of people have decided to start tweeting to their group about what trash I am and how horrible I am and how dare I drag another account when they have a family, a death in the family. And I'm like, I didn't name a name. I didn't say that. I wasn't pointing a finger. I was just expressing my general frustration about this stuff. But none of that matters. It's like, no, we're just going to gut reaction. And I just didn't want to. I just was like, all right, fine. I'll make them go away. I will delete them just so I don't have to have people retweeting them and sharing them. There's screen caps out there. People can do that. Whatever. It is what it is. So, all right, now moving on. He says, like it just magically moves on. So then last night, I'm like, I just threw it out there. I'm like, all right, everybody's complaining about this season. Everybody's complaining about this cast. I said, who do you think is going to win America's Favorite Player? And I said, at this rate, it may actually be Kat. Just because, in my opinion, I'm thinking she hasn't said anything terribly offensive. She's provided quite a bit of entertainment on both the show and on the feeds with her somewhat dumb act, somewhat silly things that she said. It's been kind of a mix between is she that clueless or isn't she? And just the way that she hasn't, after week one, she hasn't been a crying basket, and she's been more of a kind of a just silly fun, and she's kind of in the middle, and she's going back and forth. So that's when I discovered that there's a lot of Nicole fans out there. And I'm sorry. This is no news to I don't think this is news to any of you listening to me right now. Unless you're listening to me for the first time or the second time or whatever. I'm not a Nicole fan. I'm not a Nicole hater. I don't hate Nicole. But what the hell has Nicole done? Saved Kemi? That's what we're going to go for, is the thing that she's done? Had an argument with Bella? I mean, that to me that's not winnable criteria. Being the least offensive. She's not offended people. Okay. I just don't. I mean, I guess I'm taking it from the aspect of she's one of the underdogs. You know, she's one of the underdogs, and we hate the 6-shooters, so we're gonna vote for her. We're gonna show them by voting in this underdog. But it's like, okay, if you want to do that, vote for someone like Ovi, who, you know, actually went up and defended Nicole to the house when that whole process was going on. Who kind of, you know. He was always about treating everybody equal, and generally did not. I don't think he said bad things about anybody. Didn't get in an argument with anybody. So I mean, but that's not a reason to vote for Ovi, by the way. I'm just trying to make a point of, I don't think Ovi deserves America's favorite player, and I'm going to say player constantly too, by the way, because I said America's favorite player, and I can't tell you that I had 4 or 5 people who came at me with, it's house guest, it's not player, it's who we like, not who's played the best game. And I'm just like, all right, that's where we're at now. Oh, this is turning into a horrible Carcast this morning. I need to stop it. Point is, I don't think Nicole should get it. I'm just curious on who people thought is going to get it, and it turned out that a lot of Nicole fans seemed to muster their forces and come at me. And when I kind of argued back a little bit, I got hit even harder. Once again, showing that something that I am not used to, getting yelled at for my opinion, when it doesn't jibe with the people that are reading it. And it's interesting when you know, because I am using the hashtag BB21. And so I check all the people that are yelling at me about Nicole, and a decent share of them don't follow me. So obviously they don't know who I am, but at the same time, it was just a mess last night. And so then I watched Love Island. Because that was, you know, another thing. Oh, Love Island. It's just, it is what it is. They had 17 people in the house last night. 17. And then they sent 4 of them packing, so they're down to 13 now. So they've got 6 couples and an oddball. I can't even remember if it's an oddball guy or girl at this point. But 17 house guests, or house players, or house people, or, you know, whatever. Yeah, it was a good escape to get my brain scrubbed of all the arguing that I'd done earlier in the day and the thrashing that I'd taken. That's okay. Deep breaths, Mike. We'll get back to the game tonight. We'll see how it goes. It's either going to... I would think at this point that Nicole's going to win. That would be my prediction. Nicole wins. All the Nicole fans will be vindicated, and they will go back to the timeline and find out, say, what has Nicole done? And they will proceed to remind me, now that she's won ahead of household. Because that's what's going to happen. Because that's how it goes. And I'll just try to ignore them or put little hearts on their things to let them know that I've read their thing, and I'm just choosing not to engage because I can't convince anybody otherwise. But I will say this. I still don't think Nicole should win America's favorite player at this point. I just don't. I don't think she's done anything to warrant it. And yes, I do think you need to do something in the game, not just exist in the house. That's not criteria enough to get what is it, $50,000? Again, I say this, and I realize I'm totally hypocritical about some of this stuff sometimes. So, yell at me if you want. It's all right. I can take it, kind of, for the most part, except for when I can't do when I delete my tweets because I'm like, yeah. All right, that's how it goes. I apologize for those of you that listen to this and goes, well, that was a crappy update. There's just nothing to say. Nothing's going on in the house. It's maybe TMZ Jack making his rice pudding comment in relation to Bella hit TMZ, and it sounds like Jack may have been called into the diary room and talked to about it. So, there you go. There's some more news on that front. I mean, look, these guys don't think before they speak. Their brains just aren't quite wired tight enough to have any thought about, oh, maybe I shouldn't say that. Maybe I should make a dumbass comment like that. All the more reason that I was kind of wishing Jack was going today. But he's not. He's staying. So that happened. The fashion show happened. I really think it's going to be a unanimous vote to evict Bella, except for if someone throws a hinky vote. Don't know if Jackson will throw the hinky vote this week. He may be a bit beaten down by his slop diet and overall surliness. So, all right. That's it, guys. I'm parking. Hope you have a good Thursday. I plan on having a good Thursday night watching. Hopefully the competition is shown. Get your live feed so you can watch it. We'll figure out together who's going to win this on the live feeds, and I hopefully won't get too much yelled at when as I think Nicole wins it, and then I get beat up. I'll be ready for it. All right, that's it. I'm out of here. Have a good one. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.